Hi friends, today I'm going to discuss about STMS. So what is STMS? As I told you, STMS transport management system. So whenever we are going to transfer the request, transport request. So STMS configuration required to move the transport request between the systems in the landscape. So that means so development to quality, quality to production. So we need to move to transport request. We have in the transport request we have like a data, like we have actual data, core files and data files. In that we have actual data information. So core data is having controlling files information, and data files is having actual data. So but like with this data is going to be created in the with the TR. So the TR is having the details of data file and co-file information. So whenever we are going to generate the TR in the system, like in the in OS level, so data and co-file is going to be generated. So we are going to move that files into so one system to another system in the OS level. That means so we are going to assign that work to OS team. So they are going to move the files from development system to quality or production system. So and like for that the USR SAP trans directory should be available and accessible through entire the landscape. So before like I am going to discuss something about what are the prerequisites for STMS configuration. So before doing STMS configuration, I'm going to share something. What are the prerequisites required for STMS configuration? So the first one is, so all systems, whatever the system, if you take 3 system landscape or 4 system landscape, so all the systems should be differently hosted. That means this is if it is a development system, if it is a quality or production or pre-production or something, whatever it may be. So these all the systems should be differently hosted. That means it should be on different location, it should be on different, it should be on different. So these are must be in different locations. So before doing STMS configuration, that is one priority. And each system is having unique ID. Like as I told you, SID should be unique. SID represent three-digit number. It should be like it start with the characters. So for development system, it representing it as a 3-digit number as DEV development system, QUA quality and production. Why it should be unique, you may get that out. So like as I told you, like if it should be unique, because you know like you may get confused, even the system may confused, like if it should be dev, it should be quality, it should be production only, because if you give development for quality system also, you may get confused. So it should be unique to enter the landscape. Throughout the landscape, the SID should be the like unique ID, and we should know the system landscape. For that, like to configure the STMS configuration, as a admins, as a basis consultant, we should know so which landscape we are going to configure STMS. Like it should be a 3 system landscape, or it should be on like 4 system or 5 system landscape. Then only we can plan the like STMS on the in different systems. And next, so we should know the domain controller as well. So as what is domain controller? So domain controller is nothing but in the entire landscape, one should be like if you take an example of class, like there should be one leader for the class. Like the leader is what his duties, like he is going to monitor, he is going to lead, like he is the leader of the class. So he is going to lead remaining students. So that's why we are giving the leader position to him. So same like this, the domain controller duty is like that only. So in the entire landscape, so we are going to like assign or like domain control duties of one system, if it is a development system or if it is a production system. So nowadays most of the companies are like production system, as they are taking like production system as their domain controller, because the controlling power should be that the leader, he is going to handle the remaining systems. That is why, like, if it is a like quality or sandbox testing, or if it is a pre-production system or development system, the whole controlling should be like done by production system. That is why most of the system organizations are going with the production system only. They are considering domain control as their system. So first we have to decide which system, like as per the requirement, as per the client's requirement, as per the like project requirement, we are going to decide. Nowadays most of the system, like most of the organizations are going with the production system as domain controller. So if we take development also, there is no issue on that. So the data should be flow like this: development to quality, quality to production, like that. So what happened, you may get doubt. So if you take domain control, should be like as our production system. Once we configure the STMS, what is the prerequisite? So what we are going to do with the STMS configuration, once you configure STMS throughout the landscape, you can move the data from anywhere. That is the concept. So if you move the data, if you generate the TR in quality system, you can move the development either or production system as well. So this is the requirement. So once we set up STMS configuration throughout the landscape, we can easily move the data from one system to another system. So first, for that, we need to decide which system is your domain controller system, because we are going to include the domain in the systems domain control system in the remaining systems. So that's why we have to decide which is your domain controller system to handle the remaining systems. Like it is like a boss, it is like a leader, and whatever you may call it is. Okay. And next one is we should draw the, like whenever you are going to configure, whenever you are going to configure the STMS configuration, we should compulsory check with the routes and layers. So as I told you, development to quality, we are calling it as a consolidation route. Quality to production, we are calling it as a delivery route. So, this is the consolidation route. So as well as we have layers, two types of layers. One is customized layer and SAP standard layers. Two types of layers as well. These must be defined correctly and must be drawn perfectly without any mistakes. And after completion of routes and layers drawn between the systems, we should save the STMS configuration. Then only it is going to be like we can move the data from one system to another system. So, and as well, next one is this user SAP trans directory. This user SAP trans directory should be accessible and shared between the entire landscape. That means, so in OS level, in Linux based systems, we are going to this trans directory should be accessible entire the landscape. Like every system has its own user SAP trans directory. This should be open for all the entire landscape. So we are going to do that in a OS level. If it is having your permissions, you can give that. Otherwise, you can give it to the OS team. If you have in a OS team, we can give it to them. So they're going to make it available for entire landscape. This directory should be available for quality. This directory should be available for production. So whatever pre-production development system. So it should be, this directory should be available for entire landscape. And as well as whenever we are moving the data from one system to another system, so the data and co-file will be generated as discussed. So this should be how, like whenever we are moving the data, so we are going to give the proper read write permissions to that files, like by using chmod 755 or maybe like 7, whatever you require, you need to give the permission to the required files. So then we can move the files from one system to another system. So this is also one prerequisites. And as well as So what kind of ch mode 755 represents read-write permissions if it is required. Sometimes like execution permissions are also required. So if it is, and one more thing is there, and one more prerequisite is like it is a most one of the common prerequisites for every like configure like client administration thing, like nothing but not only in STMS. So we should check with the like local client copy as well as the remote and client export import. So we should check the source system client space. So like the space which is we are going to copy from exporting in the client from one system to one client to another client, the space should be, we should know, then only we can. If suppose for example you are having the client is 500, you have to check the space what we have in the client space for client to 500. So it should be same like the data, the space should be available in the quality system, then only we can know the data from development system to quality system. That's what the prior check, we need to check the space available in the source client, then only we can move the data from one client to another client. So with the help of SA38T code, we are going to check the program by RSSPACECHECK and RSTABLESIZE. So this is also one prerequisites for STMS configuration before going to do. So most common prerequisites are these are. So these are the major prerequisites for STMS configuration. And if you feel any like if I missed anything, let me know. Like you can ask me in the next session. So these are the major prerequisites. So mostly with the dealing with the TRs only, like the TRs is having transport requests is having the like actual data, that is nothing but data file and co file. So we are moving the data so from one system to another system. So next session we are going to discuss about what is TR and how it is work with us like in the STMS configuration, not only STMS. So we are going to discuss in detail about TR transport request, and as well how we are going to generate the TR and how we are going to release the TR. So what are the T codes available for TR generation and TR release? So we have like a SC01, SC09, SC10. So what is these T codes, why we are using for TR generation and TR release purpose? So what is the big difference between these three T codes we are going to discuss in detail in the next session. Thanks.